Alright. Thank you for tuning in. I streamed 3 different videos in the beginning. I'm going to start this from the very beginning of the game on a brand new game. After I got a chance to actually play it and get an idea of what exactly to look for in Final Fantasy XII. So hopefully this will give you a little bit better information than my first 3 videos. I had a chance to get to about the Bujeraba mines, getting and escaping the Leviathan. At that point I got really frustrated and I decided that it'd be best to just start over. The biggest hang up that you're going to find in Zodiac Age is the job system. The job system in this game is not very well explained for the most part, and I did a little bit of more research after I actually messed it up, which is part of my problem. So the way that Final Fantasy XII is designed, it doesn't matter anymore who does what role. It doesn't matter who's a mage, who does ranged damage, who does melee, who's a tank. Because overall, in the end, it can come out, especially with armor. So because I messed this up, I made Balthair a white mage, and it just turned into I couldn't even take on rank 1 monsters anymore without having issues. So what we're going to do is, as we are able to get into the job system, we'll go ahead and I'll go and explain it a little bit better. Online is going to show you that each character can do unique different jobs. I would recommend staying away from the mages unless you're a low HP, such as Penelope, such as Penelo or Ash. Fran would definitely be better suited for range. Vaughn, Bosch, and Balthair are pretty unique in the fact that they can do a little bit of everything. So let's go and get this started. If you pre-ordered the game, there was a code that you could enter, and it actually gives you the option of utilizing the original soundtrack. It does not necessarily give you the option of downloading it because PlayStation Network does not have the original soundtrack for download. Alright. Let's see here. Let's go and get this started.
In the name of the Father, and in the presence of these holy relics, I hereby pronounce you man and wife from this time forth. May the blessings of the gods light your path for all eternity. Father.
kingdom would stand little...
Nabudis has fallen.
Impossible!
My father? I know not. I am sorry.
If Nabudis has indeed fallen, it is only a matter of time before they reach the borders of Dalmasca. There is nothing to halt their advance.
Secure Nalbano with all haste.
I will go.
And I will go at his side.
Galtea, stand watch over your life.
That I be considered worthy.
Excuse me.
Fortress is lost! We must withdraw!
No! Railing still stands!
Shield beyond sight, ne'er failing light.
For my father. For my father!
Lord Rasmus!
So the beginning video for this has given me a lot of high hopes, and I still have really high hopes with the remaster.
Blessings of the Great Father descend and guide your bodies.
They definitely put
the
an
earth.
effort into it.
Great Father, guide your spirits return to the Mother of all. There you shall find peace. Far on.
death of Lord Rasla Heos Nabradia was but one of many tragedies to befall the Kingdom of Dalmasca. The air of hope that had surrounded Her Royal Highness Princess Asha's wedding was now quite lost. Dalmasca had been set adrift at the mercy of history's restless tides. At this time, two great empires struggled for dominion over Ivalice. Arcadia in the east, Rosaria the west. The invasion of the Kingdom of Nabradia was Arcadia's first step in its westward march. With Lord Rasla's beloved homeland consumed by the hellfires of war, it seemed clear that Arcadia would soon mete out a like fate to Dalmasca. The fall of the fortress at Nalbina told the destruction of the greater part of Dalmasca's forces. A counterattack was mounted by the order of the Knights of Dalmasca, ever brave and faithful. But against the martial might of the Arcadian armies, they stood little chance of victory. Indeed, their defeat was to be absolute. Soon thereafter, Arcadia came forward, offering terms of peace, or, as one might rather put it, terms of Dalmasca's surrender. Lord Ramenas, King of Dalmasca, and my dear friend, had no choice but to accept these terms. It was, thus, only with reluctance that he set out for Nalbina Fortress, now under Arcadian occupation, to affix his seal to the Emperor's Treaty of Peace. The king had scarce departed his royal city of Rabanasta when the remnants of the Order made their return, and not a moment too soon, for a terrible revelation awaited them. The treaty would be signed with steel and writ in royal blood.
You there? Can you hear me?
It's as I feared. They're slowing us down.
Do not say that. Not all of us are here for love of battle. He fights to defend his homeland. Your name?
Rex, sir. My name's Rex.
Good. Rex. You bore a few cuts, but you are still whole. Well, can you stand? Think you can fight?
I'm fine, sir.
How old are you, Rex?
17, sir.
Young. Family?
My brother is all I have left, sir. He's 2 years younger than I, living in Rabanastre.
So young. You're barely old enough to be a man. You shouldn't be forced to wield a sword.
No, sir. I want to fight. For my homeland. And for my parents.
It's time, Bosch. Save the discussion for later. We must reach the king before they act, or all our efforts will be in vain.
I'm aware of the situation.
We found them! Over there!
Bossler, go ahead. I will handle this rabble.
Godspeed.
Steady, Rex. Keep your wits about you and you'll make it. We move!
Captain?
My engines are hit. She'll not hold much longer.
We receive you, Tomberry. You've leave to retire. Well fought.
My thanks, Antlion. Tonberry disengaging.
So, as you turn on the mini-map, you can literally keep it on as long as you want to. When I'm in a brand new area, I will turn it on just to get my bearings half the time.
Vossler! Where are you?
What if Captain Azulis has fallen?
Don't talk such nonsense. Vossler's laughed in the face of death far too many times for him to stop now. Men like him don't die in places like this. We must make haste to reach the king. We will take him to safety.
Is His Majesty unharmed?
He'll agree to an unconditional surrender. They wouldn't dare touch him until the wax on his seal is dry.
But if we arrive after he signed the treaty...
Wait. Quickly, Rex!
So the biggest thing that Square Enix did for the Zodiac Age was they made it so that
You must go to the
the autosave is not overwritable.
I'll handle these.
You can individually save the gameplay into different save slots, but the autosave is not able to be overridden unless you start up a brand new game. Which actually makes this unique for me.
Your Majesty. Captain, why? Our king, what have you done?
The king intended all along to sell Dalmasca to the Empire. His Majesty was a traitor.
Captain,
Seize the insurgent. Hello!
Well, so much for peaceful negotiations.
We'll never surrender to you. We are not cattle to be sold by a traitor king.
But the war is over, my dear Captain. You have lost. Dalmasca is the property of the Empire now. And think, we intended to let you keep some of your sovereignty, out of respect. But now you've gone and ruined that. Haven't you, Captain?
We will never bow to you.
And the people of Dalmasca will hate you for it. Take the Captain away.
Off you go.
Vaughn.
Pretenses of peace left by the wayside, the Arcadian forces resumed their advance toward Rabanasta. Dalmasca's doom had been decided. To make resistance would serve no end. With this foremost in my thoughts, I, to the people of Dalmasca. Sons and daughters of Dalmasca, I bid you lay down your arms. Raise songs of prayer in their stead. Prayer for His Majesty King Raminas, ever merciful, a man devoted wholly to peace. Prayer, too, for the noble Princess Ash, who, wrought with grief at her kingdom's defeat, has taken her own life. Know also that Captain Bosch von Ronsenberg, for incitement of sedition and the assassination of His Royal Majesty King Raminas, has been found guilty of high treason and put to his death. They who at this late hour choose still the sword are cut of the same cloth as the captain. Traitors who would lead Dalmasca to her ruin. Dalmasca's surrender without terms was soon to follow.
Hurry it up or they'll find us.
I know. Just a little more. You keep an eye out for me up there, Kites. 1, 2, 3 more. All right. Time to clean house.
Wow, Vaughn, you got them all yourself? Guess I know who to call when something big comes along.
Hey, it's good practice for the desert.
Sorry,
I'm ready for anything now.
Copy in it, and I slipped it.
That's enough for today. You should get back to Miguel's place, Kites. Aren't you running errands for him?
Oops, totally forgot. You should come, Vaughn. He's busy today. Might have some work for you to do, too.
I've got other, work to do. Hey, lock this place up for me, will you? If Miguel finds out we've been down here, he'll tan our hides.
What'd you say?
Sir, you haven't paid, and What? Haven't paid? On second thought, please, sir, take it. It's a gift.
Leave the poor sod be. We don't want trouble today.
Your luck, peddler.
Oops, sorry.
Watch where you're going, churl.
What? My pouch! It's gone!
The boy! Get out the way! Oh!
What? Hey, that's mine.
What do you mean, yours? You've been stealing again. What happens if they catch you? We need you to be there for us, Vaughn. You're no good to anyone if you're locked away in a dungeon.
Oh, what? Am I the leader now? We're orphans. The first thing you learn is you gotta watch out for yourself. Come on, Pinello. You know it as well as I do. Hey, you give that back. What do you think you're doing?
I thought that this money was the people of Dalmasca's property. The Imperials stole it from us, so it's only fair that we take it back. It's our duty as Dalmascans. Well, wasn't that what you said?
Yeah, but I never said anything about taking it back from me.
This is for that bread you took the other day. Just because I help Miguelo out every now and then, it doesn't mean that you get to eat for free too, you know.
I know that. You think I like living like this? One of these days, I'll fly an airship of my own. I'll be a sky pirate, free to go where I will.
Well, be careful. You'll never fly anything if you're rotting in a dungeon. Oh, Miguelo had some errands that need doing. He wanted you to drop by his place. It might be a good idea to lend a hand.
So, if you want to take the time, you can talk to each character. This kid generally, for one guild, will tell you what's been going on with Rabanaster, in a shorter sense, but it's not really required. There is one person here, and I'm going to show you exactly where they are, where if you want a little bit of weird trivia for the game, you can actually learn about how much detail that they put into Rabanaster.
I was waiting.
Pinello said you needed something?
Had me some packages supposed to be arriving by courier. In the morning, perhaps he ran into some trouble on the desert. Now I've no foodstuffs to prepare for the banquet tonight.
So you want me to find this courier? Hey, no problem.
No problem. The desert team's in trouble. I'd be sending you to early grave, my boy. No, I've arranged for some replacement goods from Tomage over at the Sandsea.
So you want me to go to the tavern to pick him up?
Actually, I asked Kites to do that. Wouldn't you know he's gone missing on me, too. I can't leave my shop, and I've Pinello on another chore at the moment, you see. What I want you to do is run over to the Sandsea and fetch Kites back. What do you say?
Sounds wild.
It's easy work, and you'll thank me for it someday.
So, somebody that has some interesting trivia is this guy right here. Some of the characters, for those that never played the original Final Fantasy XII, some of the characters, if you go back to them throughout the game, they'll have new little snippets of things to say, which can either be trivia or simply because they know Vaughn and they want to find out more about him. Miguelo tends to have little new things to add every so often.
There you are, Kites. Stop loafing around.
Look, Vaughn, look! This is it! This is why Miguelo's courier didn't get here on time.
Creature spotted in the Ester Sand. What is that thing?
Ah, Vaughn! Miguelo sent you too, did he? He's a busy man these days, that Miguelo, if I dare say so myself. I don't envy him the work, though. Not a bit. Quite the affair throwing a banquet to welcome the Imperials, eh?
Welcoming? We should be... whatever. Say, Tomage, what's this?
Nah, don't remind me. Got some nastiness out there in the Ester Sand. What's stopping our couriers? And that means shortages all around. Thought I'd put up a bill, offer a reward to anyone who can knock that nasty back in its place.
Now that's work. Sounds 10 times better than running errands for Miguelo.
That's right. Vaughn, you should give it a shot.
And you should be getting back to Miguelo. Now, Kites. He was waiting for you.
Oh, right.
Okay, so this is where it is that I got caught up. I hadn't really read into this big change they made with the job system, or basically the license board. So, in the PS2 version, everybody in the party could equip all the same weapons. They could have all the same magic and everything, right? In Final Fantasy XII, they did a job board. Now, my understanding is that basically you can add on additional jobs, but in order to do that, you have to complete your entire job board. So once you make the selection, you have to fulfill your selection until you're done. Now, the biggest thing to remember is that while you are probably going to read in a lot of different places that it doesn't really matter who you pick for a job, keep in mind that the characters are still limited by MP, strength, defense, attack, HP, MP, everything, right? So, like, originally I had Balthier as a white mage. Balthier has a bit lower MP, therefore he does not make a good mage. I know that a lot of websites say that he can, but you're going to have a harder time if you are putting people into these jobs without considering their stats. Now, for each job board, there are specific weapons for that person, for that character. You know, like for the Shikari, which do daggers, you know, archers. Fran, if you don't remember, is a low HP character, which you're gonna find in a lot of places. She is a low HP character, and she also has low MP, which kind of makes her a ranged character. So Fran would more than likely be better as an archer or as a machinist. Balthier has a lower MP type, but he also has higher HP, so he would be better for a melee. Bon, you will find very, very quickly, has very high HP. It does not take long for him to get his HP up, and he has a pretty decent amount of MP. So, you know, you need to, when you're doing this, you need to keep those factors in mind, and if you need to, do some research online. What I've noticed is that every single website that I have gone to is unclear, and the reason why is because the job board is so complicated. You could technically put any character into any job, but you're gonna find that if you do certain jobs at the wrong time, you're gonna have problems. I had Vaughn as a bushy right here with the katanas, and I found that I liked it, but at the same time I didn't. I preferred Vaughn when he was able to use swords and shields. If you are brand new, which I'm probably going to do this for this part, a knight is a good fit for Vaughn, and this is something that I've found works, is being a knight. And the reason why is because Vaughn is, as one website put it, a jack of all trades. So he is really good for just about anything, which means that the knight is actually a pretty decent one because you learn some stuff. When you get to Bosch, who is obviously the tank, that's one where you're going to have to be careful, and the reason why is because with Bosch's high HP but very low MP, if you put him into a position that's going to require him to do magic, he's going to run out of MP and he's going to be fairly useless. This was the mistake that I made on my first set of games with my first one, and that's why it is I'm restarting, is because I put Balthair into a position that he was not fit for as a white mage, and I just kept running out of MP, and it became useless to continue trying to work with them. So for the sake of this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use what I learned to make Vaughn a knight. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's see here. Yeah. Now, regardless, some of the stuff is the same across the board. So, like the Arachia arm bracelet, the Arachia armlet is the same thing across the board. You never have to worry about it. Every single character is capable of getting it. So when you first enter, the first thing that you're going to notice that is really frustrating because they don't mention it. When you first select a job board, it'll bring you in. You can't select anything. You actually have to back out again, and then you hit X, and that's when it is that you can get to the accessories. Now, keep in mind, this entire job board has to be completely filled before you can select a different job for that character. I have heard before that it is possible, but you can only have one job board going at any time. So therefore, it is critical that you do your research and that you choose wisely, because, as with my case, once again, I did it, and I ended up having to restart because my characters just are not surviving very easily. If I can't hit a rank 1 mark and kill it, being level 12, like in the Lucy Mines, because I keep running out of MP, then, there's probably something else there. I would also highly recommend trying to select the adjacent squares rather than going for the best armor and the best weapons, and the reason why is because otherwise you're going to run into a problem of not having enough gambits and not having enough magic. And let me tell you, this board will fill up quick. I had about a quarter of the boards filled up on my last game before I quit, and every single character had about a quarter of the board built up. So let's go ahead and go out and get this marked really quick. And just remember, right now, you basically don't have any gills, so it's pointless to even attempt to buy anything to try and... So right now, it's kind of pointless to even buy anything right now. There's people that have said that Fran doesn't have enough strength to be an archer. To be honest, when I first played, I had her as an archer the entire time, and I never found myself having a problem. Every single license board has the ability to increase physical attack and increase different factors, which will ultimately affect your ability.
Let's see some papers, boy. No public passage on account of the Lord Consul's parade.
Oh, gee, that's too bad. You see, it just so happens that your provisioner for the fete tonight, he sent me to pick up a few choice morsels for the, Consul's dining pleasure. He wants them quick. I got the writ of transit right here. You see? Signed, Magello. I just hate to see the Consul upset because his food wasn't ready on time. And I sure hate to see him take it out on you.
The Lord Consul is a great man, and not one to take offense in such trifling matters. Move along, boy. Wouldn't do to keep the Consul waiting. Right. Gates are closed after this.
Once again, I was just going through another one during that video, during that small cutscene. And once again, the problem that you're going to run into is that every single website is going to recommend something different for each character. The reason why is because the job board is so complicated with the way that they created it. It's both complex and it's simple. It's simple in the fact that they made it so that it's pretty easy to tell what you're going to be doing with each character. Like, it makes it pretty straightforward what to equip and what to go for. But at the same exact time, you're going to run into the fact that if you choose the wrong job, you're going to have to restart regardless. So the Rogue Tomato, for those of you that for those of you that played the original game, the Rogue Tomato is a pretty easy mark. It's why they give it to you so quickly. You just have to be aware of the wolves that are out, because they like to play games. That's just the way that I put it.
Galbana lilies? Never thought I'd see them growing out here. This'll make a nice souvenir. Time to call it a day.
Okay, so that was the first mark. It's very, very simple, obviously designed for the tutorial purpose. The marks that come after that tend to be a little bit more difficult, with the exception of the Dextera. The Wraith mark that you're going to find, I found that Vaughn could not handle it on his own. I needed additional help from, like, with a lot of potions or a mage, because it does cast Doom within the first few seconds.
Stand back there! Back! This gate's closed until the ceremony's over, do you hear?
Now what?
Open the gate! Alright, out the way.
Wait a second. How come you let these chocobos through the gate and not us?
What of it? This here's a pedigreed parader, boy. Cost tens of thousands of gil, this one did. A prettier price than 100 of you provincials would fetch. Keep your distance. We don't want the chocobos sticking a peasant.
What'd you say?
Step aside. Right then, move them in.
Oh. That does it.
Oh, a fine chocobo you have there. Yes, cedar down stock, if I'm not mistaken. Change the soil, change the chocobo, am I right? Yes, different soil means different bouquet, too. Take a Dalmascan Barrow's wine, It may lack the flavor and depth of some of your Arcadian wines, but it has a certain strength of character. It's not bad, really, once you get used to it. Care for some, sirs? There's more than enough for all to cool their throats, of course.
You let these carts through and closest gate is ordered. My mail's choked with this sand.
Don't give me a scare like that. You're lucky that ended where it did.
Right. Now's our chance to go through.
The ceremony will be starting soon. I'd best be hurrying.
Okay, well... Vaughn, wait! What is it? Vaughn!
We will have order. I give you your new consul. is Imperial Highness Lord Vane Solidor, Commandant of the Arcadian Empire's Western Arm... Your Excellency.
People of Rabanastre, is it with hatred you look upon your consul? With hatred you look upon the Empire?
Spit on your empire! Go back to Arcadia!
There was little point in asking. But know this, I harbor no idle hopes of frustrating that hatred. Nor shall I ask your fealty. That is the due of your fallen king, and rightly so. King Ramanas loved his people, strove to bring you peace. His was a rule worthy of your devotion. Even now, he remains among you, protecting you. His ardor for the peace and weal of Dalmasca falters not. I would ask only that you do your king honor. Together let us embrace the peace His Majesty would surely desire. 2 years now divide us from war's bitter end, yet still its shadow looms over all, stifling the infant peace a pall only you may cast off. Achieve but this one thing, and your hatred of me and of the Empire will grieve me not. I will stand fast. I will endure your hatred, suffer your slings and arrows. I will defend Dalmasca. Here I will pay my debt. I swear it now. Though King Ramanas and Lady Ash be gone, they stand ever at the side of their people. In honoring peace, you do honor to their memory and to Dalmasca. What I ask plain. My hopes now rest with you.
Is Rabanastre to your liking, my lord?
It is magnificent. Take this cathedral, for instance. Elegant, yet whimsical in its execution. A stunning example of Galtean architecture. I hope Lord Gramus might one day look upon it himself.
Oh, remember the last one? You're all like this.
The patron of this evening's banquet, may it please your excellency.
I am Miguelo, your highness. It is truly a profound honor to make the acquaintance of our future emperor, highness. The people of Rabanastre join me in welcoming you.
That's enough of highness. Though indeed I am our emperor's son, I am no prince. Arcadia's emperor is freely chosen by her people. I am but an elected official and nothing more.
I meant no disrespect.
Now that I think on it, I would not have you address me as Lord Consul, for that matter.
No?
Henceforth, I am a citizen of Rabanastre. Why don't you call me Vane?
I could not. That would not be right.
You are overly fond of formalities. I've just the remedy for that. Tonight you will join me, and we shall drink until you call me by name.
How can he stand about to him like that?
Vaughn, you just do not get it, do you? He's not doing it because he wants to.
Lord Vane never did.
You know what would happen if he didn't.
I know, it's just...
So, what would you do different?
I don't know. Well... I'd do something.
Vaughn. Vaughn, you haven't heard a single word I've said, have you? This place has changed so much. It's like it's not even Rabanastre anymore. Like the Empire is swallowing it whole.
Hey, Penelo, that fete tonight. You think they'll let us in?
Are you crazy? It's in the palace, and we don't have an invitation if you hadn't noticed.
So, how are we getting in?
As if I'd know. Why not ask Magello to get you in? Or go see old Dallin in Lowtown? Why the sudden interest, Vaughn?
I told you, I'm going to take back what's ours. Give back to Dalmasca. Come on, what do you think? If I find something, and it fetches a good price, how about I buy you all dinner?
Oh, please. You know as well as I do the first thing you'd buy is an airship. All hail Vaughn, sky part of Dalmasca. It's got a nice ring to it. Stay out of trouble.
An airship. I don't know. Maybe. But not through Magello. Time to pay old Dallin a visit.
Alright. Let's go and take a look here. Alright, so obviously as of now you can go back and collect your reward for oops. I forgot the armlet. Alright, so as of now you can go back, you can collect your reward. Unfortunately, at this time, you don't actually have enough money to upgrade your weapons, nor do you have license points to do it. For those of you that like captions, in Final Fantasy, I do. I just forgot to do it. Let me go ahead and take it in. So for those of you that don't understand this, I didn't go very long to. I didn't go through this. So for this game, they changed this in a way. They changed this to allow for you to have your ideal speed. So like, it's pretty self-explanatory. For the battle mode, if you choose to do wait, then what happens is every single time you open up your command menu for your battle or magic, mist, whatever, it pauses the battle until you have completed your selection. If you select active, then what's going to happen is, regardless of what you're doing, that battle is going to continue. So the only thing that it does is it gives you a slight delay, and it gives you some time to try and make decisions without having a lot of damage done. I played this game all the way through when I originally purchased Final Fantasy XII on PS2, and I had it on active mode and it didn't really bother me. I'm doing wait on this one simply because I'm trying to get the feel for it again. You have battle speed. What this does is it simply speeds up how fast everything goes in case you want the battles to go faster or slower. I never really mess with it. Also, there's something called trial mode in the main menu. I'm sorry that I did not cover that. I have not utilized it yet, but essentially you go through, and the further that you get, you can earn trophies and stuff. It's just essentially kind of one of those things where you can just fight all you want to. I did turn on the subtitles, and I turned on my vibration simply because I wanted to have it on. If you hit speed mode, and I never use it, but if you do, it makes everything go that much faster for like the explanations and the cutscenes. I'm using the reorchestrated, and the reason why is because I actually like it a little bit better. So let's go back. Alright, I'll be right back. I just don't want to shut this off, but I'll be right back. Alright, just going to get back to the game. Okay, so now Bon has a little bit more gil. We're gonna go ahead and go to the clan hall. At this point, you can go into the different shops, but once again, it's kind of pointless to do it this time, and the reason why is because you don't have enough gil, and you don't have the licenses to really use anything that you could purchase, so I just wait. Alright. So that's how, it's very short, doesn't really take very long to get through it. I'm going to now show you where the clan provisioner is for those that once again never really played the original game or that are just getting a refresher. Okay. So it's kind of unique for the bazaar. So the bazaar goods generally come when you sell a specific amount of items. Ooh, I didn't even notice the decoy from last time. So he doesn't really have anything right now. If you go back a little bit later after you've killed a few monsters and you sell some stuff, he'll have some items that come up. Once again, a lot of those items, the bazaar works in a way of that you have to sell a certain amount of items for new items to become available. And generally the reason why the bazaar is a pretty decent one is because like sometimes you'll get sets where you'll get like 2 tufts of Phoenix down or whatever, and it's cheaper than if you bought the items individually. Let's go and go to Miguelos. I would highly recommend, especially at first, if you try and stay stocked up on anything that you possibly can. For instance, potions. You will find more of these as you proceed through the game. It's just a recommendation that you do it. And the reason why I recommend it is because when you're at the very beginning of the game, you're not going to have as much opportunity, you're not going to have as much ability as you would normally. Now the route that I'm going to get to Old Dowlin, if you went directly from the scene and you went to Low Town, you'd have to go further than I'm going. But I decided that it'd be a lot easier just to do this. If you're a completionist, I'm more of a completionist in an adventure with Final Fantasy and especially this game. So once I stop streaming, I'm probably gonna go and start trying to complete. The biggest thing to remember is that this game works very, very well if you're into taking your time. I'm just not going around and getting my XP up right now. I'll probably get it done a little bit later and then restream. I'm just trying to help you get an idea of how the game works.
Ah, if it isn't Von Ratsbane. Come for a tip on how to secure something bigger and in armor by the East Gate?
What? You already heard about that?
Wise I may not be, but well informed I am.
They'll get what's coming to them someday, believe me. But that's not why I'm here.
Do tell.
I want to know how to sneak into the palace. They've got to have some great stuff in there. Thought I'd partake.
Not one to mince words, are you, boy? The Empire protects all that's hers, and that means the palace and all the treasures inside.
That's why I'm gonna do it. To take back what's ours.
So, our champion of the sewers aspires to noble action. Admirable. Perhaps I can help you. Ah, now that I think on it, there was a rumor. Yes, a secret passageway into the palace walls. A door and a magic stone that opens the way.
That's it. This is exactly why I came to talk to you first, Alan. So, where's this, magic stone?
Oh, I've had it for years, if I can remember where I've tucked it away.
Sorry about that, I'm checking my cell phone because I'm trying to do some reading. So, the number one thing that keeps coming across is that the goal of Square Enix with Final Fantasy XII was to stop the carbon copying that was happening with each character, which is why they did the job system. You can have each character be like 1 or 2 jobs, but you have to play through each one, which basically makes it so that you have to be unique in what you select.
Yeah.
So the Cartographers Guild, if you go to them, they'll give you a map for cheap in general, and you can use the map to find where you need to go quicker without having to search the entire map. It's ideal. One of the trophies for Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age is exploring every single area, every single map. We're gonna save this again just to re-up my HP. This is gonna be a very long video. I'll probably try and break it down at some point, not really too sure though, but it is a very long video for a very good reason, and that's because I don't like videos that have things be like an hour and a half, 2 hours long.
Penelo? What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same, though the answer's pretty clear. No good.
What? I'm being good.
Is that right? So then you wouldn't mind if I, say, tagged along, would you?
Huh?
Oh, don't worry. Miguelo's busy with preparations for the fete up at the palace. Why, I'm free for the whole day. Well, let's get going.
It's funny how it just landed on White Mage. I'm going based upon what I like to do, based upon what I wanted back when I first started playing Final Fantasy, which is I kind of liked this entire idea of I kind of like the entire idea of the way that magic works. Huh. That was a little bit different. I don't know why. I am just going with what I'm used to. When I originally played Final Fantasy XII, Vaughn and Bosch both had armor and shields. Balthier was a gunner, Fran was an archer, and Penelope was a white mage, and Ash was a black mage. Nothing yet from there. Alright. these save crystals are, for everybody that remembers, these save crystals are put in very good spots to make sure that you always can fill your health up. If you prefer to, you can always go out and attack monsters to level yourself up until it's really difficult to level up. That way you can get the better armor and stuff, but just keep in mind that, once again, the way that Final Fantasy is designed, you cannot get to specific items, specific armor and weapons until you get to certain areas. So it makes it kind of pointless to just continuously level up unless you just want maximum health without the weapons to go with it.
Yeah.
For these ones, I tend to go for the closest sunstones that I possibly can, simply to make travel time less, and also because I'm not so worried about trying to level up right now. If I wasn't broadcasting this to show you better gameplay based upon what I've learned, I would be probably spending a whole lot more time on here, but I also wanted to get...
Yeah.
Pardon me. I just want to get through as much of the gameplay. I want to get through some of the tutorial, because the tutorial in this game is actually pretty long. I've been playing for about an hour and a half. I've had this game going for about an hour and a half now. If you took off the cutscenes, it'd probably make it a little bit less, maybe by about 15-20 minutes. However, this game has This game has a very long tutorial process. The tutorial pretty much ends at the Bujaraba. Once you get closer to the Bujaraba mines is when the tutorial essentially officially ends. So once again, it's a very long tutorial to show you everything, while also continuing to advance the storyline. Once I'm done with this mission, I'm probably gonna go ahead and sign off, and I'll put this one up. My overall review of Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age, from what I've done and from what I've played, is that the change to license board makes it kind of interesting. It's kind of frustrating to me that they did that, but I understand. But I like the fact that they made it so that you can be universal and that you can have more than one job. Once again, just be careful and, you know, definitely enjoy the game. So this gets you through a good hour and a half of the video footage. If you want to, you can easily locate where the license board is. If you want more information regarding the job system, if you want more information regarding who to put into what, once again, it is so vast. The job system was made more complicated, and so it is very hard to pick and choose who to put into each job. Here are my recommendations based upon my gameplay so far. Let me go ahead and give you my recommendations for Vaughn. I put him as a bushy up top. It worked pretty well. I selected him as a knight simply because I wanted him to carry a shield and carry a sword. I liked it a lot better. I would recommend, for Penelo, I would recommend a white mage or a black mage, but due to her role in the very beginning of the game, I would recommend her as a white mage rather than as a black mage. Ash, I would recommend as a black mage from the very beginning. I'd recommend just stocking up on potions until you get to that point. The reason why most people would recommend Bosch for the white mage is simply because if you don't do it, then you're going to need a lot of potions, but keep in mind, once again, you will run out of MP very, very quickly. For Fran, I would, due to her low MP and low health, at level 10 or level 11, she has below 300 health, and that was with her being a machinist, so I would definitely recommend putting her as a ranged character, whether that means that she is an archer or whatever. For Bosch, I would recommend him, you know, be dealing damage, for Balthier, I would recommend Balthier be put into a job where he can do melee. He doesn't need to be ranged because he does have higher HP. For Bosch, I would definitely put him into a tank position. You can do research online to find the best tank positions, but the ones that keep pulling up that people keep bringing up is Foebreaker. Monk can also do well because it increases their physical damage. Bushy would also be good because it has a lot of rises in HP from the very beginning. Shikari would also do pretty good. So I hope that this helps. Once again, do some research and overall just try and find something that will work for you. I hope that you have found the last hour and 40 minutes of video helpful. I do apologize for the cutscenes. I'm not one to skip them, and I wanted to show you basically how the game looks a little bit. So I hope that this helps. Enjoy.